Sup, everyone, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Two British Nerds, hosted by me, the DJ Sava, that's Cava. Hope everyone is doing well on this Christmas Eve day, and I wish everyone a Merry Christmas for tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves and have a nice time and have as much fun as you possibly can. For those people that don't celebrate Christmas and stuff, it's a day off work, so you guys can just chill out and relax as well, I guess. So I guess everyone wins, in a way. So yeah, man, I'm kind of pumped up. I'm kind of happy really with all the news that's been going on around. From last week to this, from the from the 16th to today has been nothing but Star Wars madness, man. Total Star Wars madness. I think it's dominated everything, regarding the comic book related posts. I mean, everywhere, really. Commercials, toys, figurines, upcoming video games, reviews. Everyone's been talking about Star Wars. People have watched it three times. My friend's watched it, I believe. He's watched it twice or 3 times. I watched it last week. So yeah, we'll be going into Star Wars in a little while still. But first of all, I finally caught up with my comics. There was 2 books that I didn't get for a while because I was kind of short on cash, so I kind of didn't buy them. And then I finally got them just yesterday, and I literally just finished reading them about 45 minutes ago. So I was behind on issue. Sick issue. I just realized issue 4 of Thor's, written by Jason Aaron. Pretty cool book. I'm really happy that I actually got this issue and I finally read it. I really enjoyed it. It was dark, intense, action-packed from beginning to end, and I like the way how it basically connected with Marvel's Secret Wars. With the current event, which is Marvel's Secret Wars. Again, for all you people wanting to know when Secret Wars will be out, I believe will be out on I believe it's the 6th or the 14th of January. So they extended it to issue 9-8 like months ago, and it was supposed to come out this month really. But for some reason, they've pushed it back until the 14th. So I believe from the 6th or the 14th, which again is the days, one of the 2 days that this issue will be out. We pretty much get to see what really happens 8 months after the events of Secret Wars. And I really want to see what's happened to Dr. Von Doom, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, Neymar, and what's really up with Doctor Strange, because again, Doctor Strange, like I've always, like I said previously, he's been, he looks younger, he hasn't got the grey streaks, he's not the Doctor Strange that we know of in a way. There's something about him that's slightly different, and I really want to see what they're doing as character, and pretty much all the characters in general, but, because I'm a big Doctor Strange fan, I love Doctor Strange as a character. I'm very intrigued to see what, what's going to happen within him and all the characters in the Marvel Universe. So I really enjoyed Thor's issue 4. The other book was, of course, the Infinity Gauntlet issue 5. And again, this is part of the Secret Wars event. And so was the book that I just mentioned, which is Thor's. That was part of Secret Wars. And again, this one, the Infinity Gauntlet, written by Dustin Weaver, drawn by Jerry Duggan. And it's part of Secret Wars as well. Issue 5, finally got it. Totally loved it. This has been my favorite Secret Wars tie-in, man. I loved it from issue 1 to beginning. I love the fact they actually introduced the majority of the characters in this book are black. You have a black family. It was pretty cool to see diversity in the comics once again. Also to see other characters, like for example, like Adam Warlock, the Infinity Stones, and the ending of this issue 5. It's a shocker. It's a real shocker. It's a real shocker, and I was like, whoa, okay. but I enjoyed it. It was fun, humorous, very different to the previous Secret Wars event, But again, no one, you can't really beat the previous Secret Wars. Not Secret Wars. The previous Infinity Gauntlet. Infinity Gauntlet event, which was totally crazy. I think it had the most deaths in Marvel history than ever before. I'm really actually looking to buy the omnibus, but because after they announced the Infinity Wars movie, the value's gone up. But the omnibus is basically, you have the Secret Wars. Sorry, what do I keep saying? Secret Wars. You have the Infinity Gauntlet main event, and then you have every single tie-in that tied into the comic. So the whole omnibus is at least like 1,000, at least 1,000 pages or more. So I'm looking to get my hands on that pretty soon. I can't wait. But yeah, I totally love this the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm next month I'll be buying this on the graph. On a graphic, I need to have this as a hardback because I totally loved it, and I really hope the characters they introduced in this current Infinity Gauntlet tie-in, that they basically bring back into the Marvel universe. It's pretty cool. So I'm really happy I caught up with those two books. Really happy, man. It's a book that I put off. Sorry, it was an issue that I put off for such a long time. So my Instagram is popping off. So I'm just happy I actually ended it, got it, and finally found out what happened in the last issue. So yeah, talking about Instagram, guys, please hit me up on the Instagram at the Two British Nerds, that's with a Z. The YouTube page again, Two British Nerds with a Z. And I'm on the iTunes podcast again. So that's Two British Nerds with a Z. My podcasting will be changing pretty soon, hopefully from the end of January to February. I'll be definitely getting my camera. So before I was saying I was gonna get a GoPro cam, and then after consulting my friends who do photography, literally 1, 2, 3, two of them do photography, and they've been using cameras for such a long time. I was advised just to get a Canon. So I'll be getting a Canon SLR 1200 80 megapixel camera, and I'm like, that's good. That's cool for me. And I've got a £100 gift voucher somewhere. Well, actually, I have it in front of me right now. So why not? I'm gonna get that, and then I can't wait because I'll be doing video podcasts, and that'll be pretty cool because it'll be more visual, and people get to see my big head. My average small big head, and it'll be much fun, more visual, and hopefully that way I can start implementing more things, like showing you guys what I'm actually talking about in a way. So I'm really looking forward to getting that camera because it's gonna push a lot of things forward for me. I'm just enjoying the podcasting. I'm really loving what I do, and I can't wait to push things even more. People say the sky's my limit. Me, I don't have a limit. The only thing that can put me down, this may seem extreme, but it's death, being 6 foot under when you actually are not alive. So that's the only thing that can take me down. Apart from that, I don't have no limits, no nothing. I go as high as I can mentally, physically, and spiritually go, and I'm still going. So I can't wait to get that camera and do in my being, which is what I love doing, which is basically just communicating, talking, giving you guys the latest, and be interviewing friends and so forth. So I can't wait to take that camera, for example, to the comic expos and events. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a very cool experience. My Instagram pictures are going to be very, very, very high definition. Cannot wait, man. Cannot wait for this, guys. So yes, but that's my rant for my camera, because I've been saying this for a very long time, but I am getting that camera soon. So yeah, please be please just be patient with me. I will be getting that camera pretty soon. Yeah, man. What should we talk about before we get into what we are supposed to be talking about, which is Star Wars? Well, I'm going to talk about the few issues that I got. So let's talk about this one. This is issue 2 of Mark Miller's book. This is from Image Comics. This is called Huck. And I didn't realize what the front cover was a homage to until I actually someone on my Instagram said, you know what, yeah, this is I got this cover of Huck because it's a homage to the Goonies, and I was like, oh yeah, it is. So pretty cool book. So in a sense, Huck is basically from issue 1, he's a hero that lives in a small town, and he does good deeds for people. So when he does his good deeds, people keep his secret. They keep his secret, so no one reveals his identity. So he's been doing this for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. And, the town that he lives in, people all know who he is, what he does, but no one reveals his secret because they basically, it's nice for them, he gets to, he does his deeds and helps people out, and they help him out. So it's pretty cool. So, in the last issue, which is issue 1, someone new comes along, they find out who he is, and they actually, they report him to the media, and they now know who he is. So in this issue, basically, it's we kind of find out the repercussions of what happens when the media finds out, and how Huck actually deals with it and so forth. We actually get to find out two interesting things in this book, which is one, his age. So he's in his 40s, and he has the ability, and one of his powers is basically he can actually sense and hunt people down, which is pretty cool. So again, this book is basically just developing, which is pretty cool. It kind of develops and tells you what his character is like and what he can do, in small pieces, which is pretty cool. It's also good when you're reading it, and even though the media have come looking for him, the people in the town basically saying, Huck, if you run and go to this place, we can look after you there, and no one will hear you. And then he basically says, no, I can't, because there's somebody out there. Even though she's with the media, she needs help. So he goes, actually opens the front door, the media's there, and he speaks to the woman that needs help, and then other people come across and they say we need help. So he basically, even though he's under not under pressure, even though he's on the spotlight, cameras in his face and so forth, he still actually goes and does his deeds and helps people out, which is pretty cool. And then he gets even more exposure because the media, once you're on the media, you're on social media, you're on the news, your face is everywhere. It's pretty cool. What I liked about this issue was you kind of see more of, you kind of feel what this character Huck is really about. Suppose as to an average superhero with his powers and so forth. So even though he has powers, there's still more to learn about Huck. For example, who are his parents? Where did he come from? Where did he get his powers from? What happened to him? How did he end up in this town? Why has he been alone all this time? It's a pretty cool issue, and the last few pages you kind of get a shocking twist in the book, which is pretty cool. I like the way this book is written. Mark Miller really knows how to write, man. It's a pretty cool book. It's a superhero book, but it's not. It reminds me of, I guess in a way it could be related to maybe the Superman story, but it has more substance and more structure. And, I don't find his character Huck boring like I find Superman boring. So, you know what? I've always said this, I preferred, when you talk about Superman, I like it as Clark Kent, because he's with Lois Lane, he chills, he cracks jokes, he has more of a personality. When he's Superman, I just find him a bit too boring, So, boy, Huck is very cool, and like I said, it's from Image Comics, guys. It's from Image Comics. So, if you're thinking, I don't read Marvel, I don't watch watch Marvel. Sorry, I don't read Marvel comics. I don't read DC comics. I don't know nothing about Marvel Universe, or I don't know anything about the DC Universe. I just wanted to put out there that with the Image Universe, right? It's self-created characters. So all these characters under the Image umbrella, right, are created by the individuals themselves. So you don't need to basically know anything about these characters, about previous storylines and so forth. All you got to do is make sure you just get issue 1 and just continue to read the book. So if you are interested, for example, in this book Huck, you can still get issue 1. I believe it's still available in the comic book shops. If not, you can always buy it on you can get it from Forbidden Planet. If that's sold out there, you can get it from forbiddenplanet.com. If you're in the States, you can go to Forbidden Planet in New York. That's the only one that I know. But you can go to that store, or you can go in online, or you can go on eBay and get this. But it's pretty cool, man. Like it's fun, it's humorous. It has a bit of a dark tone to it. From reading this issue, and from reading issue 1, you find out Huck is a very, very soft, very cool, kind-hearted character that likes to help, but he has a bit of innocence in him. So, I would really love to see, for example, the origin of who raised this person up, because he's so kind-hearted, so warm, so loving, so caring. I'd love to, I would not like to see this character snap, because he's very, very, very quiet, But overall, again, the writing's amazing. The artwork is pretty cool. It reminds me of just, throwbacks, vintage artwork. It's pretty cool. I really do enjoy reading this book. I was actually to a point I was contemplating of basically. I was contemplating maybe dropping it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, or maybe I won't. Sorry, because I was collecting too much comic books, so I might just actually get this on the graph, I guess, or maybe not. We'll see. But again, man, I really recommend this book to anyone. It's if you like Superman, then you'd like this, because it has a complete different tone. And with Image Comics, guys, remember they have sex, drugs, violence. It's a pretty different universe when you're reading Image Comics, because everything is basically, it's real in a sense compared to it more than Marvel and DC, because they actually incorporate a lot of like real life events and into their universe and into their books. Ow, my chest. And so it really be good if you guys were to give it a shot, I guess. So it's pretty cool. What else did I pick up? Another Image comic that I really recommend, basically, is man, I love this book so much. It's a book I'll never drop. This is from Image Comics again. This is The Beauty by Jeremy Horn. Jason A. Hurley, and John Roach. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a pretty twisted book, and it's become very, very popular. And it's only on issue 5. It's basically like I said previously. It's for example, the AIDS virus, right? That kills. Or so they say it kills. You basically, the beauty is basically about these people contracting this disease, right? And what happens is the way this is contracted is by sleeping with someone. So what happens is when you actually sleep with that person, it makes you younger and beautiful, younger and beautiful. But the catch is, you start to get sick in a way. So what happens is, like, things are going smoothly, and then all of a sudden these people that basically that have the beauty virus, right? They basically keep spontaneously, they keep blowing up like self-combustion. They just explode. So you have two of the police officers who are actually trying to put a lid to this, you know, actually find out what's really been going on and why these people are dying. And you know, these officers get found out. They find out who's actually trying to basically do this to these people, and because they find out who it is, they get a hit list put on them, so they're running away trying to basically stop themselves from dying while trying to help these people find a cure. Find a cure basically for the beauty. So people can just live life, man, be cool. But it's very intense, it's very twisted, it's very sick. The storyline's amazing. There's some scenes that are just so gory. Like in this book, there was maybe about 3-4 scenes that were totally gory. This book, this issue was very, 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 very dark. Its tone, its language, its the colors. They get to the point of where they actually come up with an antidote for the beauty, and they find someone to test it on, and let's just say the results go smoothly to a certain extent. But this person's like, I can't. I'll try it because I can't be living like this with the beauty within me. I can't stand it. So what happens is, obviously, like I said, that person gets injected with the antidote, and then things go up, and then they go down. There's a lot of conspiracy in this book. It's like who can I trust? Who can't I trust? There's a certain character that no one knows who and what he is, but he's very gory, very sinister, and he's basically very, very gory. One of the scenes basically one of the scenes basically in this book, you see a very, very, very raw scene, like you were watching an episode of Saw. It's very dark. This issue was very, very, very gruesome in its own way. But you really get to see how the storyline is unfolding. It's pretty, pretty cool, to just see how the 5 issues have just totally just like unfolded. They started off very light, the first few issues were very light, very cool, and then start getting darker, twisted, and now this one's is even more gory and more twisted. It's really an amazing book. I really recommend someone, if you guys want something different and just freakishly weird, to actually, get the first 5 issues if you can find them. Issue 1 sold out. I believe it came out on second printing that sold out as well. It's a very popular book in the comic book industry, and also for Image Comics. It's the thing with Image Comics, you never know how a book is going to do until it pops off, But this would actually make a very, very cool TV show, because it has the element of intensity, darkness, humor, and unexpected. You wouldn't basically know what to expect, I guess, in a way. Really, really, again, really enjoyed this book. Really amazing. And again, I recommend that. And of course, I also recommend for Image Comics a book that I just have to keep on talking about when someone says to me Image Comics, and that's Saga, man. You have to get Saga. Saga is an amazing book. It's so cool, man. I'm not gonna go over it again because I always do when I talk about Image Comics, but you can get the first 21 issues as a what do you call it? In a hardback. I believe it's about £30. You get the first 21 issues with never seen image, basically scenes, an artwork that wasn't in the previous 31 issues. So it's a pretty cool book. Saga is funny, it's humorous, it's dark, it's twisted, it has magic in it, has sex, it has drugs, it has diversity, which is pretty cool, and I love it. I totally love it. And of course, the other book is what do you call it? Sorry, Invincible, man. Invincible. That's on issue 120. I believe. Sorry, guys. Issue 120. The current issue is 126. I was annoyed when I read this book because issue 127 doesn't come out until April. So it's a long wait for me, guys, for the next issue of Invincible. I'm not happy, but it'll be worth the wait, man. Worth the wait. Next book is a Marvel book. Just so I just want to touch on this and say that I've actually stopped reading a lot of the Marvel books due to the fact that I got a bit sick, I guess, of the renumbering, and I wasn't kind of happy with the way, I guess, the new direction, the new characters, and what was happening. So I just dropped a lot of books. I dropped Amazing Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Silk, Spider-Woman. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I dropped those 4 books. So I think, from what I can remember, guys, the only books I'm currently reading so far is Miss Marvel, Doctor Strange, and the New Avengers. I guess I'll be collecting more comics next year when they release the Black Panther, and they also release Blade. So I believe it's a female Blade, but I want to see what's happening with that book. So I'll probably be collecting that depending on how I'm feeling about the book. If not, that'll be another book I'm going to drop. I cut back a lot, guys. Spending too much money in the books. Like I said, I do love Marvel comics, but the renumbering and some of the storylines I wasn't really too keen. I'm a Spider-Man fan, but him, doing like the whole Parker Industries thing and driving in a car, and it didn't sit well. But I want to see Spider-Man swinging from treetops. I mean, buildings, doing his thing. So yeah. I just left it, guys. This book, the book I'm about to speak about next, regardless if they renumber it or not, or they have, I'll still collect it because it's a book that I totally enjoy, and that's I'm not really joking. You're probably thinking, what kind of book is So, this is Miss Marvel, written by G. Willow Wilson, and artist is Takeshi Mizawa. So yeah, this is like this week's new comics. This is this week's. This is last week's comics, guys. My bad. Last week's comics. Because I forgot to do the podcast last week. Well, I didn't forget. I just got caught up with family, so kind of just backtracking, I guess, with these two. So again, we found out this book, with Miss Marvel. I totally love this book. It's a book that I always collect regardless, I guess, of the renumbering. We finally found out that Miss Marvel Camilla Khan isn't actually Miss Marvel. She's actually a Inhuman. You know what? It's funny, when they first released issue 1 about a year ago, right? I couldn't believe I didn't realize that it was the tetrahedron gas that made her the Inhuman. I was like, ugh. Until they made it official, and I was like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that? And it was there in my face. So, where are we? So this issue is basically about this issue again is about Miss Marvel trying to deal with a sinister person that's trying to basically destroy, as we find out from issue 1, destroy the home parts of the area that she lives in so they can build new properties and so forth. But there's more of a sinister act behind that than just basically real estate and so forth. So she goes into action and she tries to basically find out what's really happening while, she's obviously dealing with her love triangle because, she likes the guy she likes Bruno, but then Bruno is basically in love with somebody else, which is Mike or Mickey. So even though she seeks help from Bruno, she's still like a bit in her mind. She's like she still likes him, and he's like, well, tried to give it a go ages ago, and nothing happened. So I guess he had to move on, which is pretty cool. But she basically goes asking for help, and he helps her out again. So when she goes to work, trying to basically find out what is going on and how she can help out as usual. It's pretty funny in this book. You actually find out you find out her brother. I always forget his name. I guess like someone, and she, Camilla. Obviously, Camilla is his sister. She's like, "What? You have all people have a girlfriend?" He was like, "No, I don't. I just need you to be there and mediate the mediate between us. So we're okay, so we keep it Islamic and professional." She's like, "Okay, cool, whatever, I'll do it." As usual, things come up. She has to dress up and be Miss Marvel. When she leaves, she ditches him, which is pretty hilarious. But it's pretty fun. As this book's been, this issue is pretty funny, pretty hilarious in its way, and it has it has a darkish twist at the end, as we finally get to find out who and what is actually been trying to basically destroy Miss Marvel's area, and also she finds out, I guess, why they're trying to basically blame her, because the crowds, the people seem to think Miss Marvel is one actually trying to sell them out, because these people that are trying to build the real estate over in her area basically are using Miss Marvel as they're trying to brand her, so they're trying to get her sucked into it as well. So all the people think that Miss Marvel is actually responsible for all this, while she technically isn't, which is as you all know, because she's Miss Marvel, she's a good guy. But yeah, it's been a very, very fun issue as usual. I really enjoy this book, because again, it's diversity again. You have an Asian American Miss Marvel, which is something someone would have never thought of. The first issue saw that instantly. It's a good book, man. It's a fun comic book. It's just fun. It involves a lot of teenagers, a lot of fun, romance, dark moments, nice moments. It's pretty nice, and I really do enjoy this book. And it's a book that I will never drop, I guess. Well, unless the creative team jump off the book. And if they do drop off, I think I'll give it a go and still give this book a go, because I'm currently loving it. So technically, because it's rebooted or renumbered, I would say this is volume 2, I guess, of Miss Marvel. But yeah, I love it, man. I really hope she gets a TV show or a cartoon or something, because it's a really nice book, man. But yeah, that issue was just her basically trying to solve this issue out, and as she gets close to sorting it out, things go a bit pear-shaped, and oh man, sorry guys, I'm tired. And then she has to basically sort out the problem once again. But like I said, there's a very, very crazy twist. Well, for a twist for her that's gonna shock her. So again, Miss Marvel, Camilla Khan. What I like about this book is it comes out every month. So you probably think but comic books come out every month. Yeah, they do. But with Marvel books, some come out every 2 weeks. And yeah, man. But really recommend. I'll keep saying I recommend this book, and I do. The way it's written is pretty cool. It's not too deep. It's not too intense. It's written really, really nicely, and I'm really enjoying this artwork and how it connects and how it shows the writers, story with the tones, the way the coloring's done, the way it's drawn, the facial expressions. It's pretty cool, man. Like, I never thought I would actually read a Miss Marvel book, you know. But when I got it, I was like, yes, I'm definitely getting this. I'm definitely staying on this book, and I continue to do so. So that's a book I'm enjoying, and I'm really enjoying also Brian Bendis' book, Invincible Iron Man. You know, I'd never thought I'd be hooked on Iron Man, but I totally am for the first time ever. Well, I wouldn't say that. I've read the Stan Lee's one. I've read a bit of Stan Lee's Iron Man. They're pretty cool, but this has been very, 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 very nice, man. Pretty cool. Some big Marvel news. We've had a certain death in the Marvel universe. So Neymar has been killed off last week by the squad in the new issue of Squadron Supreme. He pretty much gets his head lasered off, cut off, and he just dies, man. He dies. So what can I say? Again, it being Secret Wars, you know, what Neymar got killed, which one got killed off, you know, it's crazy. So how does this affect the Illuminati? It's going to be crazy. So I can't wait, like I said, when Civil War issue 9 comes out, and we actually get to find out what really happened. Knowing Marvel, they'll probably do like Secret Wars After Effects or something. Now Marvel War. But yeah, he got killed off. So I picked it up because I found that it was a key. For me, it's a key issue. You know, the death of a certain character for me. So I picked it up. I won't be collecting Squadron Supreme because it's not something that I really want. I'm interested in. But like I said, I only got it because of the death of Neymar. You know. Onama. I can never pronounce his name properly. But yeah, pretty cool. And the last one I'm going to review real quick is going to be, of course, this is this week's comics, guys. This is Invincible issue 127. Sorry, issue 126, my bad. So issue 127 comes out in April. I'm like, no, so long. Just when you think Saga came back, Invincible has to go away. So quick synopsis of what's happened to Mark Grayson. He went back in time. Well, he was in a cave trying to look at, trying to basically find trying to find Tharag. I believe that's his name, if I pronounced it wrong. Who is a very powerful elite Viltrumite. You know, they're trying to find him to try and kill him off, and before he spawns his new breeds of Viltrumites to pretty much take over the galaxy and the world. So Mark falls down into a cave and he finds himself into the past where he has no powers, so he has to relive his life. So he fought his dad again, and then he sort of told his dad what was happening, and you know and his dad was like, okay. In a sense, he had to go through the whole life again, and what he did was, because he knew what already happened, he told the people, his friends, family, and so forth, and they, you know, he avoided so much death, so much deaths, because you know if you read the current what happened to him currently, a lot of people died. You know, a lot of friends and so forth died in what do you call it, in this current situation before he actually, like I said, just went back into the past. So the thing that brought him back comes to try to speak to him again. He's like, you know, what's going on, man? He's like, you guys just took me and so forth, and they try to explain things to him and to stay, and he's like, well, no, man, I ain't gonna do that. So something happens, and he something happens after that. He comes back to the current situation, to the current yeah, sorry. He comes back to his current timeline, and then things go very, very what's the word? Things very go up and down for him, and it's a bit of a shocker, I guess, in a way, because you know from reading, you'd thought he would stay in the past and do this, and then things would turn out to be okay, like I predicted, and it did not go like that. So it's been completely twisted and turned, and you only get like a tip of what's really happened when he comes back, but it's a very, very, very shocking. It's very shocking in this book what happens to him, and I'm like, whoa, man, that's deep, and then it's even deep for this character. But overall, this book here, this issue's been very, very very surprising, because what I thought was gonna happen did not happen whatsoever, man. So it was very, very intense, especially reading the last page. I was like, whoa, man, this is really gonna affect Mark in such a way. You know, what's he gonna do? What's really gonna happen now? Like, you know, it's mad, it's crazy, it's so like up and down, and we're not gonna find that, I guess, until we read the next issue, which comes out in it comes out basically, in April. So yeah, man, this is Invincible. This is the reboot. It's part of it's arc, I guess. It's 3 issues. So no, sorry guys, it's actually the 3rd issue, part 3 of 3. So the next issue is pretty much gonna be a new story in a way, I guess. But yeah, like it's really crazy to see him basically do this all over again in the past. And he goes a bit. He basically he loses it, man. He becomes so emotionally intense that he just doesn't know what to do or say. Because imagine reliving this life all over again. You made a difference, but there's things that obviously you've got in the future that are not there because of certain situations. So it drives him a bit crazy, and you know, he gets back to where he's supposed to, but things are way, way, way out of control than he thought they were gonna be, and like I said, it makes him go even more crazy. But it's cool where they've messed around with time in a way of where, you know, even though he's done good in this part, still things are still messed up for him. But my prediction was, because he did a few good things in the past, and maybe that can determine the outcome of the future. For the, you know, you never know. Even though that kind of didn't happen in this issue, or to a certain extent, but I guess we have to find that in issue 120, and issue 127, man. So, yeah, man, really, really cool. Again, I can't wait also to pick up the next issues of Doctor Strange and Avengers, and to pick up Black Panther when that comes out next year, and to pick up even Black Panther. So Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Blade. Yeah, man, I can't wait, man. I'm such a Marvel fan. I love Marvel comics. I love them. Like I said, I cut back on the comic books. I guess I had to, because I couldn't run to a certain extent. I couldn't afford them. And storylines, like I said, were like not something that I was looking for. But books like Miss Marvel, the current Iron Man, Doctor Strange, all new different Avengers. Oh yeah, sorry, and of course the Ultimates. I'm enjoying that book, especially the last issue in what happened with Galactus. Pretty amazing how they've revamped the whole Galactus origin story and given us basically something new with Galactus. And actually, there wasn't really a Galactus origin story in the beginning, but I really love the way they've twisted and turned Galactus to another level, and I have to see how that plays out in the forthcoming issues, or how Galactus plays out in the Marvel universe. So, yes, I love Marvel. I can't wait. I do love Marvel comic for the movies, comic books come out, cartoons. Woo! So excited. Right, here we go. So, let's speak about. Right, guys, get comfortable on this one because it's gonna be a long one. Let's speak about what I came here to speak about. But first of all, I totally forgot. I actually had news for you guys. Cool. So for all you, let's start this off real quick. For all you pop vinyl heads, this is actually something quite different. So, Original Funko are coming out with a Stanley vinyl idol. It's pretty cool. It comes out in February. It's not a pop, it's not the Funko. It's from Funko, but it's not the Funko pop vinyl. It's not the small one. This one looks pretty big. It looks really cool and nice. If I can get my hands on one, I will buy one because I don't have any Stanley. Well, actually, I have one Stanley merchandise, which is the gold Stanley pop vinyl from New York Comic Con. A friend of mine got that for me, so that's the only one I have. But if you guys want to see a picture of this, is Google Stanley vinyl idols. That's with a ZIDOLZ, and you get to see it. It looks pretty cool, pretty nice. I would definitely be getting this if I can, one, afford it, and two, if it's available. If I can get it online on eBay or something, or website, I will. But I'm not going to be paying no crazy amount of money like 90, 100 and so forth. No. If it's not retail, just over retail, then I'm not paying. But I want it. I want it. You know, put out post on my Instagram, probably get so many likes and hits. Yeah. Alright, we've got some information regarding for Ragnarok. So this is a quick interview that was it was an interview when they interviewed Mark Ruffalo. Obviously, Mark Ruffalo, if you don't know, Mark Ruffalo is the man that plays the Hulk. And I'm so happy that him and Thor are not in Civil War. Yes, good. So this is an interview. Let's read this out, guys. So during a recent interview with Ain't It Cool News for his latest indie drama, Infinitely Polar Bear, Mark Ruffalo further teased or speculated about his return as Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk, in Thor Ragnarok. Though he's yet to read the script, the actor seems to know where it's headed. He said, so this is what Mark Ruffalo says. He says he's on the run, assured Ruffalo of the Incredible Hulk's whereabouts following the events of Avengers Age of Ultron. I think that we carry that through. It's not just a matter of taking himself to some remote place and hiding. Now he's moving himself from humanity altogether. I'm not sure where we're going to head with that, but I'm sure that's probably still very much alive within him. The two-time Oscar-nominated actor then hinted the two personalities might merge. It's very subtle, but the Banner Hulk consciousness is beginning to meld a little bit. He teased. Who's decided to leave? Was it Banner or the Hulk? It's not really in the cinematic mythology of the Hulk up until that movement to be that conscious and proactive. It's interesting, right? Very. Mark Ruffalo continued, I think it will be fun. I think it's really exciting where we could go with it. Now I feel that we're kind of in no man's land. I mean, the comic book have kind of broached the subject, but we're moving away from the traditional Hulk relationship. We're starting to mess with it a little. As his direction has not been explored previously, he added, now we're going to see how far we can push limits or so we can push the limits of it. I think it's pretty cool because a lot of people are speculating that this potentially could lead to a Planet Hulk or World War Hulk. It's not gonna happen because I have to realize, that Marvel don't have the rights to the Hulk having his solo movie. I believe it's still Universal Studios or Pictures. Marvel only on the Hulk I guess, in group, like regarding adventures and so forth. But as a solo character, they don't have the rights to him. But I guess they can still mess around with the concept of him in sort of that World War Hulk, Planet Hulk type of thing. That's what the fans really want. Um, for him to be in outer space, he's vulnerable. He will come across certain situations where I guess he will get hurt because if you read Planet Hulk, he does get hurt. So the Hulk isn't indestructible, but he can get hurt. So it'd be pretty cool if they kit him out like they did in Planet Hulk with all the armor, the metal, and the sword and the axe. Also with Banner's comment to merging consciousness, I'm really hoping they're going for the Dr. Banner, and that's where Dr. Banner basically is where you have the Hulk. The Hulk is the Hulk, but he's basically Bruce Banner with the mind of Bruce Banner. So he's smart. He's not stupid. He's not dumb. He's actually he is smart, and he doesn't need to go back into his into the form of Banner because he doesn't need to. He's got the brains, the mind, and the ability. So I really hope they actually play around with that. I really hope they don't actually do a thing where they split the Hulk and Banner, which they probably might do, but then you need to have both of them to come back. And then I guess it would be sick if they fuse them back and then Banner basically becomes the Hulk in that sense, where he's actually controlling the Hulk. It'd be amazing. Woo! Oh, yes. So, also got some news from the Russell brothers. This is basically, as we know, there was a tiff in the Marvel Entertainment with this. I guess there was an issue with the CEO of Marvel. I guess I can't remember what this was about. This was about basically him a bit being too intense, too firm, too strict, and so forth. That kind of caused a split and friction in the Marvel universe. So, from what I know now, the people that deal with, for example, the Marvel Studios, a bit like Kevin Feige, reports to the guy that works in, I've got a story that works in, I believe that deals with Disney Studios, I guess, from what I can remember. But I'll probably have this wrong, but because the CEO of Marvel is not overseeing the Marvel movies anymore, that means from the next movie, which is Captain America Civil War, that things will be done differently. I guess there'll be more expression, more leeway, more of the people that work in the Marvel Studios to basically, I guess, do more of what they wanted to do than anything else. Because there was a lot of tension where they had to do certain things, I guess, and that it came out that Figgy nearly actually walked out of Marvel to do to this person. So I actually need to get this story again. But here we go. So next year's highly anticipated Captain America Civil War will be not only the first movie in Marvel's forthcoming Phase 3 slate, but also the first movie released since the studio escaped from its controlling CEO and axed, or rather diminished, its creative committee's influence over the films. And with Civil War directors Anthony and Joe Russo explained to helm two more big Marvel films, Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. The sibling filmmakers were recently asked how exactly all these new behind-the-scenes studio changes affect them personally or professionally, if at all. To the audience, I don't know if they'll see a difference in the quality of the movies, assured Joe Russo. That's for sure, because Kevin Feige is still the brains behind Marvel, and that hasn't changed. I just think from a political standpoint, the mechanics of the studio have become more streamlined. Does that make for better creative storytelling? Yes, absolutely. Because it's easier for my brother and I to sit in the room with Kevin, and discuss storytelling and to come to creative decisions and move through those decisions more quicker. As to whether the efficiency will improve the quality, Joe says, we'll see how people respond to Captain America: Civil War. So that's pretty interesting, guys. That means this is the first movie since the CEO of has been since this is the first Marvel movie with this new team, I guess, that have more more exposure and to do more things their way and do things how they I guess should be then being boxed up. So when asked about the rumors that the Marvel Creative Committee has restricted directors' visions, which reportedly made Edgar Wright leave Ant-Man, the Russo suggested that hasn't been the case for them and wouldn't be the case even if the group's influence hadn't changed recently. Just to speak to our experience on Captain America: The Winter Soldier, we didn't have a whole lot of interaction with. We didn't have a lot of interaction with the committee, admitted Anthony Russell. So for us, on a personal level, I don't know if it will be that different because we've never engaged with them that much anyway. Maybe other directors have had a different experience, but for us, we've had a very limited interaction with the committee. We deal with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. That's how we made Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and that's how we made Captain America: Civil War. For us, it's a very similar process. Joe Russo then echoed his brother, adding that we had a very streamlined experience for us. Working with Marvel has been as easy as any work experience we've ever had in our careers. They're a very efficient and very bright collection of people, extremely creative, and they know their material. Again, we probably couldn't speak to this. We couldn't speak to this stuff as much as the people could regarding the politics of it. But just know that we still feel the storytelling is very strong, and we're very happy with where Civil War is. It's pretty cool. So, and I guess in a sense, I like that because they're doing what they're doing regardless of the situations or the change of the change of management in Marvel Studios. But I reckon this movie will be different from the rest, and I think if people pay attention more to the movie, they'll see a slight difference in maybe the tone, the texture, the actions, the dialogue, and so forth than any of the other Marvel movies. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Also, because don't forget that Deadpool is coming up pretty soon as well. The Merc of the Mouth is back in his first movie, and I reckon that movie is gonna blow, man. It's gonna make a lot of money, and it's gonna be very, very funny, very hilarious, and a lot of people are gonna love it. When you got the main character, Deadpool played by Ryan Reynolds. Hey, you can't go wrong, man. He suits the role, mind, body, and soul. So yeah. Alright, guys, let's get into what people have been getting into since last week on the 16th, and that's Star Wars. So, Star Wars was pretty cool. So last week, I remember I was watching the red carpet live in Leicester Square Online. I didn't even know they actually was doing it until I just went on Twitter and by chance, I think I was searching for some Star Wars photos and I just realised, wow, I saw a tweet saying that it's streaming live. I was like, what? So I watched it, it was pretty cool. And, prior to that, I spoke to my friend. I was like, a few days before that, I was, look, man, there's a screening of Star Wars at this time and this time. There's one at midnight. There's one at midnight and there's for the next day. Because the movie got released on the 17th. So, there was a midnight launch. There was a midnight showing, literally midnight. So midnight, and then all the, the next morning and so forth. They had the regular showing. So I was like, so these are the shows, man. I was like, cool, see, man. What day? Because me, I was off work. I wanted to watch it ASAP. Midnight. I've never been to a midnight screening in the movie. Watching the movie in my life. So I was so excited. Star Wars. I need to watch it. So I planned to watch it the next day. But after watching the red carpet, I was like, I had to watch it now, so I was just chilling in my room. I went outside to the shops, saw my friend talking, you know. Then my friend rings me. I'm like, cool, go watch it. What's the tonight? And he goes, yeah. So yeah, you know, I went in there. We went there with two of my friends. Um, put my Funko Pop vinyl, put it in my popcorn, took a picture, Instagram there. I was excited, got my nachos, got my drink. So the 3D glasses, when I went to pay, they had the Stormtrooper 3D glasses, and the Kylo Ren. And the thing is, I didn't even pay. We didn't watch the movie in 3D, but I got it because I wanted something. I wanted a collector's item, so I got both of them. They were like $4.99 each, £4, like £4 or £5. Got both of them. I was happy to go, man. Got them. I kid you not, I went into the movies at around 12:15 at midnight, and I came out around 2:30 in the morning. So I was like, whoa, man, the movie's pretty long. But let's just speak about the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. It was done nice. They really introduced the new characters more than they concentrated more on the new characters than anything else. I'm not going to spoil the movie for anyone. Not at all. The movie is out, but because it's my first review of the movie, I'm going to keep it spoiler free. But I really enjoyed how they went into the characters like Finn, Rey, and Poe. How they didn't tell you a lot about the characters, but they did. So the characters are still new and fresh. It was pretty cool to see how these characters are, what they're like, the personalities, and how they work with each other and what they do. I really enjoyed it. My favorite character in there was Finn, because he's British and he's black and he's cool. And I like to see where he held Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Like, ooh, I loved it. I guess to a certain extent, all the characters were really amazing in their own way. But for me, right, I really enjoyed Finn's role, what he did, what he said, his personality. He's funny, humorous, can be serious at the same time. Rey was pretty cool. She was like a very intense. She was humorous to some extent, but she was very intense, very motivated in getting the goal done and pushing things forward. And it's pretty amazing. Paul was pretty cool. He's like cocky. He's confident. It reminds me basically of just Luke Skywalker. When he's piloting, when he's when he's flying around the galaxy doing his thing. So Poe's pretty cool. He's an amazing pilot. From when you see, he's pretty cool, as you see in the trailer and so forth. Overall, man, I'll be honest. Like I said previously, I enjoyed the movie from beginning to middle to end. Now, to all you die-hard Star Wars fans out there, right, and I've got nothing against you guys, right, because a lot of people are like, the movie's rubbish, the movie's this, the movie's that. Well, like I said, previously, right, just remember, when you go into to see Star Wars, when you're in watching Star Wars, right, you're not watching a Lucas movie, right? You're watching a Disney movie. So it's completely different. It's a whole different ball game. So you're not going to get the same as you did from all the Star Wars movies. But, particularly the original trilogy. You can't compare it to them because it wasn't. They had their time, and their time is timeless, man. You can't compare them to that. And with Disney, Disney do things differently. Their movies are written and produced differently to other movies, in a way. But it was cool, man. And I think what the fans, because the fans were complaining, saying, some of the fans like Kylo Ren, as a villain, he was nothing. He was weak. He was rubbish. He was nothing like compared to Darth Vader. Well, that's the problem, you see. When you, because my friend said to me, like, he said, when you market someone like Darth Vader, right, to that point, to that height, to that peak, right, how are you gonna, what person are you gonna bring up next that's gonna match to Vader? You can't do it. Now, for me, right, when I saw Kylo Ren, it just, his his journey in this movie just reminded me of basically, I guess, um, in a way, the journey of him actually going into the dark side, you know, but because he's still young, and he's still conflicted in a way because you would be. I guess they're giving you the vision of how it feels like to go through the transition, from that emotional state to being, I guess, a Sith Lord. As if he turns out to be a Sith Lord, because no one knows really. I guess you have to see the next movie to find out what he's really, what his transition really means, and what he's really, 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 what he's really trying to do, or trying to be. Because in the movies, like, he's kind of caught up in both angles, as you would be. Same thing with Darth Vader. He sees the light and the darkness. But I liked it. I like Kylo Ren because for me it showed you a different perspective and a different angle of of this. So of his transition and what he's actually been through, gone through. Technically, he hasn't. They don't actually tell you what he went through. So I guess they're gonna have to bring that up. Maybe they will. I guess in the next movie. So it was done like it was done efficiently well. It was more of a tribute movie, and they introduced the new characters very, 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 very good. And I really like how they tell you about the characters, but they only give you hints and tips of who they are, where they came from, and they, in a sense, they don't give you too much about them. So you're kind of like, you left to come back for more, man. It had more story, like it had more storytelling than anything else. Had more. The storytelling was cool because there was more acting than CGI and special effects, which is what I wanted. Because JJ said he wanted to keep it as close to the original Star Wars movies as he possibly could, and he did. So I have to say that I have to say that I loved it. I went in there, right, and as soon as the the writing came up, everyone was like, yeah, everyone was clapping. And I was like, my days already. I feel like I was like a kid again. So I enjoyed it, man. The anticipation of this movie was like 35 years. And the thing with me, I'm not even a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I love the essence and I love the mythology, the spiritual aspect of what Star Wars is about and what it represents. And I totally love that, man. Like, I love it about the movie. And I saw that again. I saw that again when I was basically in the movies now, which is The Force Awakens, and seeing Kylo Ren's character, seeing Rey's character, Finn's character, and all the characters. It is really, I loved how the mythology and the essence of it was still there, but it was like it's obviously times have moved on, and you see a very different aspect of this energy manifesting, and I totally loved it, man. Like, totally loved it. For all you people that actually, for all you diehard Star Wars fans, right, and I bet probably 99% of, probably like 90% of these people don't know this, right, or maybe they do, they know, but the way George Lucas got the inspiration for Star Wars was actually by, he got inspiration from Joseph Campbell, who wrote the book, The Hero's Journey, and that's where the whole Star Wars mythology came from. So if you read that book, every that inspiration came from Joseph Campbell, who was a very, very dope in Western society. He was very dope at teaching mythology. And from reading that book, you'll really read the essence of basically of where Star Wars came from, because that's where it came from. So that's why I love Star Wars, because I love mythology, I love science, I love history, metaphysics. I love dealing with the cause which leads to the effect. So when I watch movies, I don't watch them for their effects. I watch it for the substance and structure, you know, and what the movie stands for. So with that being said, like, the movie was pretty cool. It was long. Could there have been more in the movie? Yeah, there could have been more in the movie that maybe there should have been, could have been in the movie. A lot of people actually wanted it to be a bit darker, have more that dark intensity in it. But like I said, it's a Disney movie, so you're not really gonna get that. You're not gonna get that because it's a Disney movie. You think of Disney, you think of Mickey Mouse. So they had to keep it, I guess, a movie for everyone. And hey, I loved it. I loved the movie, and I'll watch it again, and I'll buy it on DVD when it comes out, and I just like it. I just really, really, I haven't enjoyed a movie like that in such a long time. I liked Harrison Ford's character, Han Solo, Chewie, R2D2, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, the whole crew, man. Like, it was good. It was a good movie, man. Like, can't knock it, man. You really can't knock it. And, it's made what? It's made just over 700 million, right? 700 million. Imagine. And it only came out, it came out just last week. So it's estimated that it's going to make around 3 billion. And it will, man. I reckon it really, really will. Because it's Star Wars, man. People are saying, yeah, it's broken box office. It's past Jurassic Park. It's past what else other movie did it pass? Jurassic Spider-Man 2. Sorry, Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it's on its way to beating Avatar. I'm like, but hold on a second. You can't compare. Even though other movies were blockbusters and they made money in the box office, right? You can't compare Star Wars to any of these movies, because you can't. It's the Star Wars, man. It was like when they told me the movie was coming out and the movie was officially going to be done and made, I already estimated around 6 months ago, right, or even longer, that I said the movie was going to make at least 1.5 to 2, or over to 2 billion. And it's no brainer, man. You're looking probably at the end of the week, right? At the end of this week, it'll probably hit about maybe just about under a billion. Just under a billion. So this is what happens. This is what happens, man, when you do something like this. But yeah, man, if you haven't seen Star Wars, go watch it. Just go and watch Star Wars, man. And if you want like the prequels, forget the prequels, man. Just watch the first 3, the first trilogies, right? The prequels obviously give you a back date, the back setting to what happened with the Jedis and so forth. But watch the first 3 movies. You'll be updated with what's updated, and watch this, and then you'll be cool, man. But yeah, I just loved it, man. I like watching that lightsaber go off. Well, again, I love seeing the elements of the Force being used, how the Force awakens in a certain individual. I like Rey's character. She's pretty cool. She's pretty humble, but she can be very dangerous in her own way. Finn, he's cool. He reminds me of a young Han Solo in a way, which is pretty cool. Poe, he's like the man. He's like, yeah, I'm the guy, man. I'm the guy. Skywalker, same Skywalker. Leia's the same. Solo is still the same, and it's pretty amazing for me. I'm just happy to be part of this be part of this movie as it came out, man. So again, it was cool, funny. The storyline was cool. I just enjoyed it, man. I really, really, really enjoyed the movie, and I cannot wait until the next one. The next one comes up. Really can't wait. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I'm really happy for someone like for John Boyega, who plays Finn. You know, he went from Attack on the Block to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and now he's made it, and it's really shows that with a lot of hard work, passion, not giving up, and breaking the rules and boundaries, and doing what your heart and mind desires, that you will get through in life. Just don't give up. So, and I believe he's only what, 22, 23. So it's pretty amazing where he's gone from and how his life's just changed, and he's loving it. So I'm really happy for him and all the other new cast members. You know, Isaac that plays Poe. I think it's Daisy that plays Ray. Really happy for these characters because it's it's a new start for them, and it's pretty, much love and respect to these guys for actually getting through the auditions and actually being in the Star Wars movie. And I really, from watching this movie, you kind of know how Disney have taken a lot of chances with this movie with a certain character, and how it's basically worked out for them. A lot of things in this world, especially movies, involve a lot of chances, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens, has basically The Force Awakens. They've taken a lot of chances. They could have easily have just used the old characters, but decided to new characters, and it's you're taking the chance. It must make it, these characters they could have still done it. Yeah, they could have used old characters, but things need to move, things need to change, and obviously some of the fans out there are not cool with change to a certain extent. They made the change, and it worked out for them. It's like when James Gunn was doing, when he completed Guardians of the Galaxy. When the movie was getting produced, a lot of the critics were saying, "Yeah, this movie's gonna fail," because if you've never read Guardians of the Galaxy, you don't know who these characters are. You don't know who Groot is. You don't know who Gamora is. You don't know who Star-Lord is. You don't know who Rocket Raccoon is or Drax is. You don't know who they are but people actually went to watch it. The trailer was pretty cool, and because of that, the movie was a top grossing movie at its time when it came out, and it made, I think, over 350 to 400, 500 mil, I believe. It smashed it. Top grossing movie in that time when it came out. So, James Gunn was like, "Yeah, I'm the man." And you are, because he took a chance. Marvel took a chance. So it's all about taking chances in life, and because of that, you've got a lot of these companies like Disney, obviously Disney or Marvel. They took chances, and now they're happy because it's worked out for them. So, going back, I don't care what no one says. I was in that cinemas, and I was like, yes. I was like, I enjoyed it. I just sat there and I enjoyed the movie. I was like, yes. And I know, like, from watching this movie, the only thing I'm going to say to you guys is it's more of a prequel than anything else. So the next movie will introduce a lot more than it did in the first one. So just see it as that. It's a fresh trilogy, guys. So just give it a go and see where the next one leads you. And oops. That being said, I need to put my Mac on charge because it's about to die on me. So yeah. Oops. There we go. Now I'm saved. So yeah, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. As usual, it was actually supposed to be a small review, but it kind of turned out to a very, very long podcast. But yeah, man, I don't care. I'm going to continue to say I enjoyed the Star Wars movie. I just like the action, the beginning of the movie, the middle, and the end. Shout out to all the new cast members, JJ, everyone, man, and Finn, John Boyega, who plays Finn, totally smashed it in there, And like I said, I felt like a kid watching it. I was like, yeah, man, this is like so in anticipation. I was like, yes, so it was a lightsaber. I wanted a lightsaber, man. So it was pretty cool in my sense, and I really can't wait to see the really can't wait to see the next movie as it comes out. I believe the next movie might be a spin-off movie. Then they're gonna do the I believe another Star Wars movie. I don't know. And I don't know, guys. What I'll do is I'll keep you guys up to date when everything, when all this information breaks loose. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the podcast. Again, please hit me up on the Instagram at 2 British Nerds of a Z. What else was I going to say? Twitter. You can tweet me at CAVADJ. Let me know what you guys think of the podcast and so forth. I'll follow you guys. YouTube again, 2 British Nerds of a Z. And hit me up on the iTunes podcast, 2 British Nerds of a Z. Again, hope you guys are enjoying this New Year's 2015 Christmas Eve. And I wish all you guys again a merry happy Christmas, man, for tomorrow. So, that being said, peace out and see you guys next week, man. Peace.